Welcome to another episode of Weekly Spark, in which I get ready to do the last spread in this journal, and I cleared out everything that was tucked in the pocket. So there is one page left, but with this format, it's kind of small, so I may do this last spread and then call this book done. So in the pocket, I know this is hard to see on camera, this is some paper that has been resined. It was a real Gothic font. It was a German text, so it's completely illegible as you see the text through both sides. We've got a Xerox of Hestia, some stamps, a reproduction of a tarot card, some things punched out of other paper, and then this was from a calendar. Probably not going to use this one. It's really big and it doesn't seem, well, I was going to say it doesn't seem to relate. Well, it doesn't, things don't really relate. So let's see what I can do with the stuff that was in the back of the book. I have pulled out my drawer of scraps, and I'm going to grab my matte medium for gluing, and I'm just going to play. I'm just going to experiment a little bit. Not sure where this is going to go. That should be a little better. I want to clean a little bit of that up since there are so many pieces that are going past the edges. So I can see a little more clearly where I am on the page. Places where I have wet gesso should work to stick things down. Just trying to get enough to edge this Xerox with stars. So I'm trying to look at some horizontals and some verticals. I have these nice pieces that border the edge of the paper, a nice strong vertical there. I might need a horizontal there, vertical, vertical, vertical. And while there's nothing formulaic about it, I'm just trying to look around the page and see where things kind of fall flat or look a little empty. There's a big obvious empty spot right there. So we'll get to that. So that's used almost everything from that scrap pile. I'm not, these little cutouts are going back in the bin. I still have the tag, which may or may not happen. I think I want some more brown to bring in this brown from this design and maybe some drips. So that means covering things up a little bit, making a safe space to do drips and sprays. So I've got the sepia. I liked what it did over here, covered up some of that white area. I didn't like how it was covering up some of my designs over here, so I think I might grab my brown watercolor spray instead to do some speckles. So this is feeling kind of dark to me. This is kind of fun. I'm kind of okay with that. Just taking this curve motif and using an all pencil because it's going to bleed a little bit with the things that are already wet. You're off a little bit. Just playing, not sure what to do next. That resin paper won't take anything. Just doing this with gesso because that's what I already had out. So it may mingle a bit, but I wanted to lighten up some of this because it had gotten so dark. For all that I like that all pencil, it did get pretty smeary and got pretty dark. This stencil is a really large scale too, so I like that. But I do like to repeat a little bit so that that's not the only element on there. So not doing a whole stripe, but just doing some of those a little more faint. That definitely helps. Brings the attention back to this 2 stamps, lightens up this edge. This I like with this kind of clarity there, the heart, the classics. It got a little muddy and messy up top. I like the repeat of these ovals. While it's kind of muddy color-wise, that's okay. And I really like this edge with the Hestia. Well, you know what I could do? I can grab that Greek stencil. I had the scrap that I used, I had stenciled on tissue paper or on maybe dress pattern tissue. But I still have that stencil. And if I can kind of sort of line it up, really faint there, no extra paint on the sponge. Now I have a better kind of composition. It's chaotic, but there's a better repetition of ovals, right? These 2 in pencil, this repeat motif, this in pencil, these little guys, this. And then this one, although it's turned in the opposite direction. So at least I have a little bit more leading my eye across. It's just a big chaotic spaz. It was great fun to do. It was fun to use all the scraps that were in the envelope. But I think I need to stop messing with it now and leave it alone. At the only thing I think I could possibly do, maybe come back in and lighten up Hestia's toga a little bit, but not necessary. I kind of like the drips. So yeah, there is a completely spontaneous weekly spark that I'm now wearing all over my hands. So I need to go wash some brushes and wash some sponges. But hopefully that sparked some ideas for you to use whatever you have. I'm not using this tag. I'll put that in the scrap bin for later. Just play. Just grab some scraps of paper and play. It doesn't have to turn out as a beautiful finished piece. I'm not going to hang this on the wall, but it was fun and spontaneous, and I enjoyed getting messy. So, as always, do the YouTube things, like, click, subscribe, all that, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of Weekly Spark.